Oh goodness, okay. For me, I spent most of those 30 days breastfeeding was the #1 thing on my list there. Yeah, breastfeeding's very, very important. Typically, newborn babies are going to breastfeed minimum between 10 to 12 times in a 24-hour period. You know, but that didn't stop me from getting out of the house. I did get out of the house. By the 3rd day, I was feeling very claustrophobic. Like I just needed to get out, even if it was just for a little walk. My husband was a little bit reluctant, you know, but I told him I was feeling claustrophobic and I needed some fresh air. So we went ahead, we gently picked up the baby. Well, I gently picked up the baby. I wanted to carry her around. And we just took a little 30-minute walk through our neighborhood. Because your hormones after you have your baby, your hormones still aren't back to normal. So that heat that you feel when you're pregnant, an elevated temperature, basal body temperature you have when you're pregnant, remains the same after you have your baby. My first daughter was born in November. So the air was very crisp. I remember how it felt to have the fresh air on my arms and on my face. It was about somewhere in the mid-70s. It was about mid-afternoon, so the sun was out and it was shining and it just felt so good. Yeah. We took a walk down by the ocean because we lived very close to the ocean at the time. I did all the normal things I kind of had to do. Running errands, going and buying groceries, paying bills. I think it's very important to mention I was very lucky. My sister came and she would stay with me 5 out of 7 days of the week. The other 2 days my husband was off on the weekend, so him and I got to spend alone time with the baby during Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I was very fortunate to have my sister there and have help, and I would let moms know that it's very important to reach out and to get help from somebody. A lot of the times people like to come by and they like to visit, and they like to hold your baby, which is great because if you have something to do, like do the dishes or cook a meal, I think they're more than happy to help and hold your baby for you and give you a little break. Oh, special foods. Let's see. A lot of iron, a lot of meat. My body craved a lot of meat, fish, chicken, beef. Spinach also was a big thing because salads were super quick, and like nut bars or smoothies, because anything quick that I could have the baby in one hand and I could eat with another hand. And you know, steel cut oats became a huge part of my diet almost every morning because it helps with the milk production. And I also made sure actually to drink a lot of ice water. Yeah, staying hydrated, really with anything, but staying hydrated especially with water helps keep your milk supply up.
Even ice water.
Even ice water, yes. So, I mean, if you're worried about it, scientifically, when you drink water, the body regulates it anyway to its temperature before you're gonna absorb it. So everything ends up the same temperature before you absorb it. Yeah, staying hydrated was just the main key. Yeah. What I cut out of my diet, I will mention, were like sulfuric vegetables, like onions, garlic, anything that's harsh on the tummy, because what's harsh on your tummy is harsh on your baby's tummy. Yeah, and also any like cruciferous vegetables I kept to a minimum, like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, anything that causes gas in the abdomen, because again, it does the same thing to the baby. Yeah, I would say for a healthy diet also postpartum, it's important to cut sugar down. You want to find natural sugars that occur in fruits and vegetables, and just to cut down on like enriched flours, like rice, cut your portions in half, bread, cut your portions in half. It's important to get the right caloric intake, but from healthy foods. So after I had the baby, I showered about 6 hours later, was my first shower. I remember specifically getting in the shower, and although I wasn't, I felt so skinny. It was the most comfortable shower I had taken in months. I was able to wash angles of my body without hurting. That and both my labors were very long, and they don't call it labor for no reason. It's work. So it felt really good to shower. Yeah. And then from then forward, I showered every day. Yeah. And then I would actually have a nightly routine with the baby where I would have a bath with the baby every night. So 2 times I'd be in the shower a day, technically. Yeah, definitely. Especially, I'm the oldest of 5 kids. So when my mom had the youngest 2, I was already a teenager. So I remember my mom just having to keep going and having to keep life going as normal. So she had to get out of the house. She had to go do things. I honestly think just the normal aches and pains that come with aging. But my mom looks phenomenal for her age. A lot of people actually ask her when my daughters are with her by herself if they're her kids. She looks great for her age. She feels great for her age. She has really no health issues. She just goes for her normal. I think them, raising us as strong women the way they have kept them in good spirits and good health, and kept them just feeling young. Take it one day at a time. Wake up with a good attitude and a fresh attitude every single day. To forgive yourself for the mistakes you made yesterday and not to carry that negative energy into the next day with your baby. Your baby grows so fast. They don't look the same 1 week to another and then 1 month to another. Take that time to cherish with your baby, to love on your baby, to hold on your baby as much as you can, because time just goes by so fast. I think also something that's very important is to listen to yourself and to listen to your baby. You know your baby and your baby knows you. And I think if you both just give each other just the time to build that bond, that intuition that you listen to is so important. You know your baby better than anybody else in this whole world will ever know your baby. So be confident and love your baby and never forget that. If you love your baby and you take care of your baby the best you can, everything else just falls into place.